Welcome, everybody. I'm Deb Sheppard. It's Facebook Live. I'm still waiting at Instagram. What else are we on? Just a little of everything.
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
YouTube, Instagram,
So,
Facebook Live.
We always like to say welcome to all those that are new or have been followers for a while. We want to do some shout outs. So let us know where you're from. I will, of course, do readings, but that's a little bit later because I get to talk in the beginning.
It's all about you.
And behind the cameras, we have both Dana and Elizabeth managing all the screens to make sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. So things.
Good morning.
And they will be helping to get people on live, and then also Dana will be choosing people that will get readings. That's a little bit down. It's like 6 hours away.
Oh, jeez. If only people would stay with us for 6 hours. Huh?
But I am going to talk about our podcast that was released this Monday. It was about joy, finding joy. So I'm going to talk about that. But let's do a few shout outs when you guys get on and are able to, post something, text something, whatever you guys need. That would be very helpful.
I'm going to push your mic towards you. That's fine right there. Just to make sure. Let us know that
you can hear me.
Can hear, yeah.
Can you hear me now? Got milk? We'll do all those old commercials, right?
So yeah, shout outs to some people.
Sorry,
first
guys.
person on today, Claire Vlack. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jessica Hodges, hello.
Where are you from?
Let us know. Tell us where you're from. We've got Karen Kinzer from Canyon City, Colorado. On Instagram, if you would just type in your first name when you communicate, because I get your Instagram,
your stage name.
And I can't see who you are, so shout outs are a little hard when somebody's name is Juicy2424.
Whoa.
Which is a cool name, but I'm just saying.
You take that so many different ways.
We have Iran Williams. Good morning from Los Angeles.
Hello.
Well, this is an easy one. Shannon says, hey. Jill Pepperman, that's an easy one to say too.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday, joining from upstate New York. And then we have Julie. I know Julie is from Colorado.
Whoa, Julie. I'm getting that it's someone's birthday today.
Oh.
So if it's someone you are or please let us know because I'm getting a happy birthday.
All right.
So that's
cool.
Cool.
You are psychic, so.
Well, I better be.
Leslie from Sacramento.
Yay!
And
that's
we have
my hood.
Dawn says hello from Denver. Liz from Mexico.
Mexico.
Saying hi from Mexico. We have Elle from Nashville. Gracie Vanner is in South Africa.
Wow, thank you.
It's always so fun.
That's a few hours away.
Few hours, a couple days.
It depends on how you're getting there. Wow, yeah. South Africa, that's incredible.
Let me make sure that my friend Elizabeth is with us. So if you chose to not show your name on the feed, I'm not going to be able to call on you because I don't know your name, but we do have someone on who just says Facebook user from Oklahoma City and somebody else from Florida.
All over. Pretty amazing. Thank you, everyone.
And so that's always fun. See everybody joining.
Just a little word here that there is some imposters out there messaging people saying that they're me and they're going to give you a reading, but I will tell you I would not do that. So please make sure that you don't go to that place. So if you have any questions, if you've had someone reach out to you and you're not sure if it's me or a fraud, please reach out to us and we will tell you if it's us or not. Most likely it will not be us. So don't be scammed by these people.
Yes. And
so should I talk about joy? Are we ready to go there?
Yeah. So real fast, we always pick a couple of people to come on live for readings with you. This is all live. We're really running by the seat of our pants, literally.
If you have pants on.
I mean, it is Zoom.
I do have pants on.
So I want to make sure that we start to pick some people to go live. So first of all, if you're here and you want to connect with a loved one, what Deb asks is that you share the first name of your loved one that you want to connect with and what their relationship was to you. So, for example, my mom, Angela, or my dad, Bob, whatever the case is, that's all she asks. And if you're on Instagram, because we can't see your name typically, just put your first name and the loved one you want to connect with and their relationship to you. So if it is a child's generation, Deb always asks that you add their age. So if you lost your child's friend, niece, nephew, that generation, she wants their age, only if they're that generation, because there's hundreds of loved ones that want to connect, and it helps her get to their energy quicker, as she points at the screen.
The other thing, you don't have to also speak to people who crossed over. So you have any other question, those are also very good to have as well.
Yep. But this will help because Elizabeth is going to randomly choose who we connect with live, and that'll help us get connected. And I'll announce a couple of people here in just a second.
And we will still do other readings too.
Yep. And we will do several other readings as well. So just hang on, hang tight, and keep connected.
Yes, absolutely.
The stage is yours.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's all about you.
So Monday we launched a podcast on Spirited Straight Talk talking about joy, and we really have received some good feedback for it. So if you haven't listened to it, we're going to encourage you to, because when people are in grief or things are difficult, there's challenges, you're going through a job change, health, relationship, things that are just not where you want them to be, to still bring in joy, because that actually raises your energy and your vibration, and it allows you to be able to connect more with your guides as well as your loved one. So it doesn't mean you can't be sad and you can't grieve and you can be angry or whatever the signs are for grief. But when you bring in that joy to find the laughter and the fun, actually it shifts the energy so that you can get more clarity. If you're wanting to hear from your loved one, one of the main things is to raise that vibration by allowing yourself to have joy. The more you go into that higher energy is when it's easier for them to connect. So for me or any medium, we have no grief around your loved ones. So when we connect in, there isn't that guilt or shame or regrets or, what ifs or could haves that are in our energy field. So if you are feeling these things, then it's going to be more difficult for you to have that, relationship or connection with them. So find opportunities to have joy, whether it's, with kids or animals or getting out in the community, watching comedy, eating something that brings you joy. And if you love a big old hot sundae, have a sundae. If you love swimming or, being around, do I need a mic on?
I'm hearing that some people are having trouble hearing you. There is a mic on, Deb, just so you know. This is a professional operation here, yeah. but for some reason,
a tool to be able to enhance your life, to get the answers and get some clarity that maybe you weren't getting because of that place we're in. And we know, think of it as the times that we're trying to think of a name of a movie or someone's name or a situation or a place, and it's just stuck in our head. That means sometimes we're in this, kind of lower energy, but then we walk away from the situation and something pops into our head. That's the shift of energy. So if you're in this place of, I really want to hear my loved one, I really want to hear my guides, I really want to A, B, and C, that means to bring in some joy, happiness, fun. There are so many things out there that we can do to bring in joy. And the biggest thing is to allow yourself to do that, because you're a human still on this planet. And if you think about your own loved ones, and I have to sneeze, sorry everyone.
So
Excuse
that's
me.
be louder than normal.
Yeah, so sorry. I tried to cover everything. Allergies. Is not to go back into punishing yourself for having joy. And what I was going back to, when you have joy, when there's a loss, it allows other people to know it's okay, as well as when it's your time to cross over, because we all know the inevitable. People will realize that that's what you want for them as well, because we don't want people to hold back or be in fear or stuck, as they say, I always call it, we're marinating, instead of really having a great life and knowing that we are still bringing them joy as well. So, any questions regarding that? Any thoughts? Of course, the podcast has much more, and Dana talks about some stories about her family. I think there's a few dad jokes in there, so that's okay as well.
Sid says, I'm going to go to a park, fly a kite, and swing on the swings. It always brings joy. I
just love Sid. Sid is a 1.0 student, but has worked with me over the year. Just love this lady. She is, I think, my sister from another mother.
Yeah. So I'm just going to announce real fast as we talk about joy. Leslie Baum wants to connect with her fiance, Frank. Leslie, I want you to send a quick email to elizabeth@debsheppard.com, and she's going to give you the link so that you can join the live. She did randomly choose Leslie, so
okay.
Go ahead and just send that email to the email address you see on the screen, and we'll go from there. But back to joy.
Yeah, and so like Sid is an 18. I'll just tell you that. Neither am I, or 21. And going back to doing something that has just some fun in it. My son and I, we play cards. It's called Gin Rummy. Unfortunately, he beats us both. I think he's been playing cards since he's 2. But it's fun to laugh and bring those things. Do a puzzle. Do an art project that you would have loved as a kid. Or go take a class that maybe does pottery and you're painting it or things like that. If you're a female, maybe get some great designs on your fingernails when you're having your nails done. Wearing some fun jewelry or some brighter colors, because I think we get into wearing things that respond to our energy. So if you're always wearing, boring clothes or dark clothes, or you're not feeling, fun, then that's an easy way to bring in that energy as well.
And I'm sure you talked about this because I was multitasking, but the more people feel joy, this is what you teach, is the more they feel joy, the more likely they can feel their loved ones.
Mm-hmm. I did say that. But you can say it again because someone didn't hear it.
Somebody didn't hear it. There's people joining all the time.
So that's exactly, if you want one of those tools to connect with your loved ones or your guides, it's important for you to raise that consciousness and vibration, which means joy, which feels like the opposite when you're grieving. Mm-hmm. And what people feel like is that if they have buried a loved one, and whatever the story is behind it, they feel guilty for having joy. And that's why it's such a vital thing to bring into your life. Even if you're going through an ending of a career or an ending of a relationship, it doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up. That self-positive thing is going to help you because you know your situation. It's not going to change. So instead of changing the outcome that you want, change your energy as you move forward in your life. That is going to be a whole different way. You're going to look for things differently when you raise that vibration. You can start seeing things. I just did a brief little reading with one of my students yesterday, and there's a couple of things I told her. As she gets in the car, the radio comes on with 2 things. The names of the songs were the 2 things I said to her. So the universe is talking to you. It's just, how do you pay attention? And if you're in that doom and gloom and sadness, which is totally okay, you're not going to see the signs. You're not going to feel it. So let me know what you do for joy.
Yeah, in the comments, type in what you do. So people are asking where they can catch your podcast. It is called Spirited Straight Talk, and it is on every podcast player you can imagine. So Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts.
You can hunt me
everywhere.
Down. Spirited Straight Talk. And it's normally with Dana and I, we have had some guests on. One of our guests was
Glennis. She's a numerologist. Boy, did that was really
Glennis
awesome.
McCants, yeah, she's a
Rock
Hay
star.
House author as well, and it was just funny and fantastic. It was a fun
It
one.
was. And we have some others coming up that are also some
Very
individual
cool.
ones. Yeah.
Let's see here. Just a couple of comments about joy, and then there's a few that we can do some mini readings.
Okay.
ML Jaramillo said coloring is gratifying, and also walking in thick green grass barefooted.
Yes. And the smell.
Joy. Yeah.
Okay, Dana, you know what one of my joys are? Pleasures.
Mine?
And what's my new hobby that I've spent a lot of money on?
Decoupage.
Decoupage shells. Yeah, Mod Podge. Yeah, I got hooked on it about a year ago, less than a year ago. And poor Dana, but when I did it with a friend recently, she goes, this is relaxing. And the coloring's the same thing. It puts you in a place of just being present. That's, to me, a form of meditation. And we don't make time for that. We have this big list of things we need to get done. We may be struggling with certain things in our life. And if we can take even one day a week and get an hour of joy, it'll help you for the rest of the week. It's like getting a B12 shot. Mm-hmm. So if you really want that energy and you want to feel good about your situation, you want to connect, have some fun.
Yeah. Chakra Healing Goddess says collecting shells and beach walks bring her joy.
Yeah, so any really cool shells, let me know.
Okay. So on Instagram, Cindy wanted to connect with her brother Stephen, but let's talk about how you get messages first, and that can be your first little mini reading.
Sure. I'm already getting him. So I'm primarily an empath, which means I feel the information come through. So a lot of you out there are already empathic. You understand how you feel other people's energy. And, you can feel if they're sad or happy or what's going on. So that's one of the biggest tools. I can hear, see, taste, and smell. So I use all my clairs. I'll see a little movie sometimes in my third eye that explains things. I may hear things, but again, they don't have any vocal cords. Remember, it's all about their soul connecting telepathically. I can usually tell what kind of personalities they are. I did a reading the other day and I said, your dad feels like he's the guy that sits back and watches. So I feel like I was pulling his words are like, come on, give me more, give me more. And that's exactly his personality. So that comes through. I can taste things from pasta to alcohol. And, sometimes I hear songs, things like that, and little visuals. So I take all that information. I built a language over the years to be able to process pretty quickly of what your loved one is trying to tell you. One of the two things to know, they're always okay. One of my feelings around that is people go, are they okay over there? And I always say there's no dieting or taxes, so it must be heaven. I would not do this work if they were still in pain. They may talk about the things that happened before they died in their journey with you, but they're not struggling with that any longer. So just know that they are at a sense of peace. Okay. And they're having a lot of joy in eating.
So Cindy and her brother Stephen, and before you start that, ML Jaramillo, send an email to Elizabeth at Deb Sheppard so that you can be brought on live with Deb as well. And then we still haven't heard from Leslie Baum. If we don't hear from her right away, we'll pick another person to come on live. So
because I'm not really getting a whole lot with her anyway. So
maybe
can we?
Jump off,
yeah. So Cindy, is she on there still?
Cindy's on Instagram
with Stephen. Okay. First of all, your brother feels like an adult. Maybe not mature, but adult age-wise. He comes through with a little bit of sense of humor. I also feel like maybe his passing was unexpected for you, a feeling of like what happened. I feel like there's a lot of whys around his passing. I'm assuming it's not around, I'm seeing the candle, so it could be an anniversary because I was seeing a celebration earlier, so it could be the time of his passing, a birthday or a celebration that just came up or will be coming up, just past or is coming up. He's telling me he's taking my heart, so this could be something around his chest also that affected him, or broken heart, or breathing, things like that too. He keeps talking about the vehicles. So this may be something that he drove vehicles, he he died in one, or you're dealing with the issue with his car. If you have a question, put it in there. He says that he knows he is loved. And he says, yes, I'm trying to give you signs. So I'm assuming, Cindy, you're saying, Stephen, show me a sign. Stephen, show me a sign. And yes, he is there for you. So he's also there with a medium-sized dog, which could be one from your childhood or a current one, but he does have a dog there with him. And he's also shown me a plane, which usually recognizes to me that either a trip is coming up or you just got back from a trip, something related to that as well. He's very talkative. He's also showing me a tattoo, maybe on your wrist. I've got one here. This is not a real one, but he keeps talking about the tat or the wrist or something here. So I hope that makes sense. And if so, please give us any responses or validations regarding that.
Awesome. Yeah, we'd love to get the feedback. It is so cool what you do. It really is. I'm like, you've been tattoos and you're really talking. And
well, you've been around me and I still don't take it lightly. I still like, wow, this is happening. So
I can't believe you can do what you do, huh?
Me neither. But give me how much to give a tip, and I don't know how to give a tip. Driving is difficult.
No left brain at all.
No left brain.
And Corey Arnold on Facebook. Corey Arnold, send an email to Elizabeth at Deb Sheppard, and she'll get you connected so we can bring you on live with Deb. And in the meantime, we are going to, hopefully people can hear me. Let's see, Elizabeth at Deb Sheppard. Yes. How about this one? Grandma Donna, she is on Facebook. So it is Jessica Burbank wants to connect with her Grandma Donna.
Jessica?
And her dog, Elise.
Okay.
Alice, yeah.
Okay, first of all, Donna, the first place I went was Donna Reed. And you may be too young for this, Jessica, to remember the Donna Reed story or show. But I feel as if she lived sort of a proper good life, but she was also really the matriarch of this family, really took the lead, was there to give you a lot of advice, but I feel like it was good advice. She's talking about, the cooking or taking care of things would give her a lot of pride. And she's also showing me holidays were so important for her to get together with family. And this may have been, early in her life, but I feel like those gatherings meant a lot. She showed me the place settings, how things had to be arranged, which also reminds me of, did someone get the dishes, or, there's something regarding maybe the plate settings and things that got passed on or did not the way they wanted. She's also, I feel like, there with your grandfather, but I feel like he's been gone longer. And the dog's name is Alice. Is that what she said?
It's spelled Alize.
Z.
So I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
That's okay. Definitely your fur baby, definitely your child, definitely spoiled. I feel like you had to make a hard decision for this fur baby. Yes, she is with grandma. And I also get that you have the ashes of this dog, maybe a footprint, maybe something else as a memory. But I also feel like this is a big struggle for you. And however she crossed over, it was like, did I do the right thing? Was this happen? Is she okay? Absolutely. I also don't feel like this dog is alone. So I'm assuming you've had other pets as well. I'm actually seeing a parakeet. So was there a parakeet also in your family, even as a child, things like that? And Donna just gives me the sense of she had a good life. And even if things were tough, she still just was like, lean into it. Don't complain. And I feel like that's around even her passing was, don't make it a big deal. She's also saying to me that people need to feel not guilty about their choices with her as well. So if you had to make some tough decisions regarding grandma, but near the end of her life, she's just saying, let it go. Don't be attached. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about 1948. I have no idea if that is a year or a license plate, a combination. So if that doesn't make any sense to you, that's okay, because it felt random.
Well, that's how you know it's real. You get random stuff.
I'm like, I don't know what 1948 means. So obviously there's something there. And she's bringing up Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And hopefully you know who she is. So she's that Supreme Court justice that passed a little over a year ago or so. So there may be something with that as well.
All right. And I am seeing somebody in the waiting room. Her name is Michelle. So the ML stands for Michelle. And just give me one sec here. So Michelle wants to connect with her grandmother, Lois.
Okay.
And I'll bring her on live here with
All right.
you guys.
Oh, she's actually, Michelle has a lot of people passed.
Okay.
Maybe in 1948 is her, but I don't think so. I feel like they're different energies.
Okay. All right. So here is
Grandma's Lois.
Grandma is Lois. Yep. And she's not walking around. She's
Good.
set up, so she's
Yay! We like that. Even though I can't see you, make sure, Michelle, that you do speak up. Okay. So, can you hear me?
Hi.
I can.
Nope, we can't hear her. And I'm assuming it's because of the.
Hello.
Yep, there we go.
Hi.
Hi.
Were you grandmother's favorite?
Yes, I think so.
That's what she's saying. She says that you treated her and you really respected her. Does that resonate?
That is correct.
And she feels like there's a lot of tradition with her that she brought through traditions or sort of her belief system of how to be a person in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you is there something about painted rocks that makes any sense?
Yes. During COVID, my daughter and I painted rocks and put like inspirational messages on them and put them in the parks around the.
Okay. Did she already pass?
She had passed, yes.
Okay, so this is letting you know that she saw you putting these painted rocks around the neighborhood. This is very random. That lets you know that your grandma is watching over you, okay? She's also very proud. She says, are you confronting some big decisions?
Currently?
Yeah.
Not yet. That doesn't mean they're not coming, but
okay,
not
that's okay.
Currently.
Did you have to make some big decisions about her passing? If it doesn't make sense, you can say no.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, I'm just going to let you know, if she's telling me about the rocks, she's obviously in tune with a big decision coming. So just be prepared for that. It doesn't feel scary or bad. It's just like, you got this, is the feeling I'm getting from Grandma. Like, don't worry about it, got this. Did she not put up with people? I feel like there's a lot of love, but she didn't feel like it was necessary to associate with people that were not kind.
She was very vocal if she did not like you. If you treated her poorly, she was very good at letting you know where you stand.
Okay. What's interesting, she's very firm in this, but I also feel like she'd give you the shirt off her back if she loved you.
That's correct.
And so I really get this different kind of dichotomy. She's also has a couple cats with her. So are these yours or hers?
I don't think they're either. She had a couple dogs in her life, but I don't remember any cats.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, they don't have to be hers, but it could be a sibling. I'm getting a lot of no's, which is fine. But I have a feeling that Lois is pushing it like there is more there than just that traditional thing. I also feel like education was important for her, that people needed to get educated. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's funny because I get yes and no off and on, so it's really funny. What do you want to ask Lois?
I think I want to ask her if she's with Grandpa.
She says, after he died, I didn't need anyone else.
Yes, so she was very dependent on Grandpa.
Okay, it's interesting because she shows me as independent, so her depending on him is interesting. That's not how she's showing up, but I also feel that she knew she had to do what she didn't want to disappoint people. Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my grandma gave my mom up for adoption.
Okay.
And we found her later.
Okay.
And so her and I had a very, very close relationship.
Which is why she says you're one of her favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I feel like with Grandpa too, there's a strength with him as well. I feel that her giving your mother up for adoption was a painful decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like whether it was her age or the circumstances, I think that's where she got to the point in her life. If you don't like her, there's the door kind of a thing.
Sure.
Yeah. She is definitely around. I'm excited about this big decision that's coming up, but it doesn't feel negative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out who the cats are.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, right?
I've had one cat in my adult life. One.
Is it passed?
Yeah, he should be by now.
Okay, so there are cats there. So even they don't have to be hers. They can be yours or a sibling.
Yeah, I have one sibling, Renee. She's got a lot of cats.
Okay, so she probably has Renee's cats with her. Is it your sister that's going through some hard things?
I don't know. Both of my sisters seem to be doing okay.
All right. Just because she's bringing the cats through,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to give me information that you may struggle to understand. But if you've got a cat and your sisters have lots of cats,
Mm-hmm.
this is your grandma. It doesn't matter what she had; it's that she has these animals with her.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's a validation.
And it's a validation, like the painted rocks. I mean, that's really odd.
Right. Yeah, that's odd. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We really appreciate you coming on, being focused and responding. That's what we look for. And I'm sorry for your loss, but Grandma's saying, don't release the balloons.
Balloon. I'm sorry, I didn't hear exactly what you said.
Don't release the balloons.
Don't release the balloons. That doesn't make much sense, but
just file that. We know where the cats
Got
come from, the big decision. So that's what she's telling me. I have to
perfect.
just trust. Yeah. So it'll be interesting what shows up.
Share the story.
Share the story
we
later.
get this all the time, and then all of a sudden, the next live, we'll get the story of what actually happened. So
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you,
awesome.
Michelle. We love it.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
I think where people get really, and Michelle did that, but she was able to expand it, is we get very tunnel vision on this is what I need to hear. I would rather this random stuff come up that makes it a struggle, because then you're like, how would I know that? I couldn't we couldn't have done any research on you, obviously. So the painted rocks, I just love
the random stuff
Yeah.
comes through. That's
Mhm.
exactly
I
what
keep
it
seeing
is.
these balloons.
So validation from Cindy on Instagram. She said she does have that tattoo on her wrist. And during the reading, it matches her aunt that passed recently, and the two of them were very close. So your reading obviously struck.
Okay,
exactly
good.
on.
Thank you.
You're always on. It's just where's
Where it
the
fits.
information
Like,
fit.
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, she only had dogs. It's like she's got cats, so
Right.
figure that out.
We'll do another Instagram reading here in a minute
Okay.
for Kate and her mom, Lindy. But
Oh,
we have
moms.
Corey in the waiting room already.
Okay.
So we're going to bring Corey on.
Female or
live? Corey is a female.
Okay.
Yep. And she wants to connect with her mom, Lita, and her son, who was 20, Chapman was his name. So we're going to bring her on.
And what was mom's name?
Mom's name was Lita.
Lita.
And Corey's on with you, Deb.
Okay. Hi, Corey.
Hi, Deb.
I am really sorry about your son.
Thank you.
Did mom die after Chapman?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so mom, that's what she's coming as a validation that, we don't bury our children or grandchildren. So she says, I died after Chapman, but also to let you know that he greeted her as well. She is telling me that she was pretty sick before she crossed over. Does this resonate?
Yes, she was very sick.
Yeah, I just feel weak. And I'm not saying that your son's passing caused it, but I feel like your mom also had kind of a broken heart.
Yes, very much.
And so I feel like part of her just sort of gave up. Like I feel like she was a person that believed in God, but it really was hard for her when her grandson, your son, passed. Does that resonate?
Yes, it was very hard for her. She had a really hard time with it.
Yeah, and I just feel like she felt like she couldn't help you because she was so also devastated. Your son Chapman, full of life. Was he an adult? Because I feel like he's a grown person.
Yes, he was 20 years old. Yeah.
Okay. He's also apologizing to you. Oh, okay. Was his death unexpected for you?
Yes.
Okay. He has got, he just shows me this big heart, like he had this big heart of a kid, and smart, but I feel like I'm on two sides of the fence. Like I feel like I had some good times and some struggles. When you're that age, of course, it's very difficult. Is there something about him having a broken heart too?
He did. Yes, he had a really bad breakup, and that's what led to his. Yeah.
Suicide? Okay.
Yeah.
So he just says that wasn't worth it, and he's very sorry, and he wants to apologize to you. And he also wants to apologize to the relationship that that person was not responsible for this. This is really important for him to share. He is also telling me he was a very sensitive soul, correct?
He was. He was a very sensitive, loving soul.
Yeah, and I feel like he took it all on personally, and I get that. That's a little bit of me, so I feel that way. He says he connects with you through music or to other people. Music is part of this. And he is also telling you, find your voice. And I feel like that is either doing something regarding mental health or suicide awareness. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I've really focused on suicide awareness since losing him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm involved in that too. I don't know if you've read my book, but we also have an organization. Okay, good. And we also connect and support an organization called Helping Parents Heal, which allows mediums to come in. That's just a little marketing there and that. But what questions do you have for Chapman especially?
My biggest question was he with my mom? And, is he okay? Is there anything that he didn't get to tell me?
He says, you were a great mom and never questioned that. He knows without a doubt that if he would have reached out to you, it would have made a difference. Understanding, as you know, mental health, they're not in that state of mind. But he says, I know I should have reached out to you, Mom. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. Are you the one that found him?
No.
Because he wants to apologize about how they found him.
Yeah. His father was a police officer.
Okay. So that would be hard for a dad. And he's telling me dad was pretty strict.
Yeah, he was.
And he said that I think his dad is his dad in denial about this, or I just feel like he's not dealing with the loss of your son.
I think it's been hard on him
Okay.
because of the way that it happened. And
did he use his dad's gun?
he did.
Okay. He wants his dad to know he would have found a way no matter what. But I think him finding the gun is probably where the dad is struggling with that too.
Yeah, he does. He struggles with it.
Okay. I hope that his dad knows that he's okay and he doesn't point his finger or want anyone else to feel punished. But we're not designed to bury our children. And
we are not.
No, and you have a police officer that's there to serve and protect. So for that to happen in your own, situation is definitely a challenge. So I really hope that his dad begins to heal too. Okay.
Can I ask my mom, am I doing the right thing?
With what?
With her what she left behind.
I'll tell you two things. One of them, she says, yes, I wish I would have put things in better order. So you're doing okay. And the other thing is they're not attached to the things they left behind. That's for us. And if you are having any challenges with other family members, your mom is saying, you're always doing it the right way. You can't always make everybody happy.
Okay.
So don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry about other people. everyone, she just says, I just trust you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. And so sorry.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Corey.
It sucks. That stuff that's happening. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on our Wednesday live on all these different platforms. And to know that I am available for private sessions. We do group sessions as well. So this is just a tiny bit of saying, is this real? Is this possible? You know, what are
Give back to the community.
give back to our community. And to also realize that there is a community out there that's grieving to find new ways. I always say that there's a lot of different things I have on my website. You can download information. I have classes and my book, of course, and other things. But one thing we always know that I always say is, even though our loved ones are on the other side, they're still by our side. Thank you for joining us on the Deb Sheppard Live. Thank
See you soon.